Previously, we did a video months ago about Mad Max Fury Road, and we were a little bit concerned because there wasn't really a script. There was lots of storyboards. It looked like it'd be a long car race. And man, am I glad to have been wrong, because this movie looked stunning. It was beyond just looking stunning. I love the film overall, but let's talk a little bit about the roots of the film. So this has been in the works for a long time. It was in development hell, which did make people worry that it would be bad, but it was actually incredible.
Yes.
Let's take a look at some of the concepts that were used to help make this world come alive. So there was a lot of world building in this.
I mean, it was no surprise to me seeing the artwork about how captivating it is, because this movie as a whole was a work of art.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I liked that they kind of just threw us into this world. It was a little bit like blink and you'll miss it, kind of short references and call-outs to what's going on, explaining, what kind of world this is. Here we have concept art of Furiosa. She did not end up looking like that, but
when you look at this, especially the vehicles, right? You look at how complex the designs are of the vehicles, and you're thinking, all right, they're going to use a lot of computer-generated graphics to try and get these vehicles to look as spectacular as they do. But they did it.
But then they did it.
Everything is just it's like handcrafted. That's what it's like. It's like an artist's movie, and it redefines how we are going to see future action movies, I think, be made. I think this movie is going to transcend what it should be when you've got an action movie there, because these designs came to life.
They really did. I mean, sometimes you look at concept art and it's just like, oh, wouldn't it have been nice?
Yes, exactly.
But you see this come through very well.
And that's what every critic is. I'm writing mine because it's coming out in the UK. It did come out early, but the review embargo is coming out a little bit later, and I'm writing about it, and that's what it is. It's so authentic. It's just an authentic action movie, and I think it was amazing for me to look back at these works of art, and then after seeing the movie, you're like, I can see that. I can see how that came to life. It's astounding, and it's not. You don't feel as if someone's behind a computer making all these effects just to make it look exquisite.
So much of it was practical.
Yes,
though.
exactly. That's what is amazing
Even
about
the stunts.
it. Yeah,
those crazy stunts.
Absolutely, and the whole movie just deserves every single bit of credit that it's received throughout the plaudits. I mean, we've got people from Rotten Tomatoes giving it 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. So it was at 99% at one point on the tomato.
This is not what anyone expected. No, I am so happy to have been wrong to be skeptical about this movie. Yeah. The more I thought about it, the more I loved the way that they told their story and presented their ideas through, it wasn't super heavy-handed, except for, maybe some of the message of the film were literally written on the wall.
Yes.
Who killed the world? We are not things.
Yes.
And those are two huge messages, but, I don't see a problem with it still.
No, I don't see it either. And it's also even further exciting that the script has been written for the sequel, which is going to be... It's going to be a big test as well, because this movie was so... Would you say it was unexpectedly good?
Yes. See, this movie made me realize a lot of action movies that I've come to expect what the trope is, they're not good.
Yeah.
But this action movie, it told a great story, it was very cohesive, it got its messages across, we have very compelling characters. I'm thinking like days after watching it, still about like, oh, what is the symbolism here? What is... I didn't expect to like Nux as much as I did, but understanding, the war boy kind of, they also fit into the we are not objects trope very well. I mean, they're taught, oh, live, die, live again, we're going to Valhalla. It's very, to me, my reading was this is a take on dogma and religion. Yeah. And being forced into a collective as opposed to being an individual and having your own desires and thoughts. And when he started to shed like the coloration and the dehumanizing parts of him, he became more human.
Yeah, exactly.
I loved it. I was shocked at how much I liked him.
And it's interesting you did talk about that. And one of the main things that I've seen throughout the critics universe of it is many people are going back. Even critics who are like paid to write about this movie in a one-off, they're going back to give it a second look because they are astounded, because we've been trained from watching all these action movies to expect these visual effects. Like you see something like The Avengers come out, and don't get me wrong, it was enjoyable.
We liked The Avengers.
We liked The Avengers, and it's enjoyable.
Not the best Avengers movie.
Yeah, but when you see something like this, you're just like, I feel like I've been somewhat cheated in the past watching action movies, because this is what you want.
This is what it should be.
Yes, this is what it should. And that's what I can imagine it must have been. It was a grueling process to make after doing the research on it, but it must have been so much fun to see that thing, to see these practical...
The war rig?
Yeah, these practical war rigs come to life. Jesus. Still astounded.
Yes,
Still astounded.
yes. Down to the details of, the guitar player and his war drum. rig
Yeah.
and characters like the bullet farmer and the specific personalities among the wives who were taken and trying to reclaim their own lives again. I got to see this again. And it's not, well, a lot of it is for the visuals. I mean, gorgeous. But a lot of it is beyond that and what the visuals represent, which I really think is a testament to how effectively this movie told its story.
Yeah, and it's, as I said, we're going back to the art images that you see at the start. It seems like it came full circle, right? And it must be such a relief for the creators of it, because how many years was it in process? It
So
was
long.
I can't even remember.
Maybe 10 more
Yeah.
and more, like ridiculous amount of time spent on this, and then waiting to film, and then, you know, Australia was
Australian
covered
bank,
in flowers,
yeah.
and we couldn't shoot this wasteland on it.
Insane. I think there was some problem with the financial district in Australia that took a crash and they didn't have the budget to make it, and then once it finally got rebuilt, it was, I mean, it must have been well worth it.
I think in many ways this is a rare movie and a rare success story and how it came through after all of this. And I'm so glad that it did. And I'm going to go see it again. Audience, I hope you've seen this because we dropped spoilers like crazy up in here. So I'm going to go watch it again. Are you? 2, 3, more? What did you think of the visuals and what did you think of the story? Let us know below in the comments and please subscribe for more.